Hey there, this is B. Wendy Jackson. I wanted to quickly interrupt you before you listen to the next episode. Listen, thank you for your support with the podcast. Those of you who've been following me since January 2020, I really appreciate you. I want to hear from you. You can send me a message at info@AAOP as in Paul, C as in Charlie, S as in Snake.net. I would love to hear from you. Also, if you have not rated and reviewed the podcast, would you do that for me, please? It also allows people to find the podcast. This is growing. The podcast is growing, and I'm so excited. I've had to update my little commercial because my name has changed and my website has changed in terms of where you receive the books. So if you have not purchased your books, I got the opportunity and the gift to write two books. The first one is Empowerment for You, Encouragement for Your Emotional and Spiritual Wellness. Listen, I love this book. It is definitely a book that invites you to experience hope, help, and healing. And every page, every chapter is really filled with insight, information, and inspiration to be able to help empower you, to be able to help you walk in freedom. I include specific practical tips to help you take charge and take possession of your thoughts and really just control your behaviors or impact your behaviors and impact some changes in your life, cause some changes in your life. And then the second book is Empower to Empower You Reflection Workbook. Love this book as well because it's based on specific podcast episodes where you listen to some episodes and you are able to dive deep into some reflection. I give you some prompts so that you don't have to wonder or think about, well, how do I start to reflect? What do I even write? The prompts are already provided for you. Isn't that awesome? So there are also blank pages for you to journal or whatever you want to do, right? And so I just invite you. You can go on Amazon and just look for B. Wendy. So I don't want to cause any confusion. My maiden name is Bob. So people have known me as B. Wendy Bob for so long. And then July 2022, I was blessed to be married. And so now I'm B. Wendy Jackson. So Amazon, you could just search for the books B. Wendy Bob, and you will find those two books come up. If you have any questions, you could email me. You can also find the resources on my website, AAOPCS.net. That's AAO, P as in Paul, C as in Charlie, S as in Snake.net. Listen, I look forward to hearing from you. May the the books continue to add value to your lives. I'm really thankful for this opportunity to just encourage people all around the world. All right. Enjoy the next episode and have an amazing day on purpose. Hey everyone, this is B. Wendy Jackson coming to you now with another episode of the Empower to Empower You podcast. Listen, I don't have a lot of time, but this may be my final episode for the year of 2023 so that I can focus on enjoying and celebrating Christmas, the focus on Christ, enjoying family. This will be my second Christmas as a newlywed. And so I may just take time to just enjoy and just kind of dream and prayerfully plan for 2024. Now, I say this unless the Lord give me a thought. You know how that happens. But I want it to be the last episode for this year, and we'll see what happens. But I just really had a thought. And a lot of times for people, when it comes to the Christmas holidays, we get in this bustle and hustle about what to do and what we're supposed to do and what needs to get done and who we need to get gifts for. And oh my gosh, I have to spend all this money and all of this hustle that causes unrest. And you know what? Many times it has nothing to do with the season, the reason for the season. And before I move forward, if this is your first time tuning in to Empower You podcast, I want you to know that this podcast is about all things Jesus Christ, mental health, and anything to help you become the better version of yourself. I encourage you and I inspire you and I empower you and I also challenge you all at the same time. And if you wanted to know more, I guess if you ever met clients, they would probably tell you the same thing. But I love to do that because I love for people to do that for me. Challenge me, right? Encourage me, strengthen me, inspire me, give me information, pray for me. And even throughout the season, I want you to be doing that and thinking about how you can do that for somebody else. But I want to share a quick thought. And this is, I want to make this a quick thought because I know that you're busy, right? We're all busy. December, this season, we're busy. Some of us are busy with a lot of things. Some of us are grieving. Some of us are exhausted. Some of us are trying to get through work. Some of us are trying to get things in order before the kids come home from school. There's a lot going on. And I literally have a session in 8 minutes. So I'm going to try my best to record this in less than 8 minutes. But the thought today is, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? And what if I were to tell you that what you're looking for, you already have? It's right in front of you. I was in my office one day and I was like, man, I want to go on Etsy, and knowing I do not need to spend any more money. But I was like, I want to download Etsy so I can look for something to put on my office backdrop. I have a background in my office that I can maybe hang to kind of make it look like a client's, a therapist's office. Just something on the backdrop. And I was looking, and as I looked carefully, I noticed I already had it all along. It was already there, and it cost me nothing. I didn't have to spend unnecessary money. I didn't have to impulsively buy anything because what I was looking for, I already have. I think about, oh my gosh, immediately I got this revelation like, oh my gosh, Lord, not only are you speaking to me, but you also giving me this to share with the whole world, right? The whole world. What you're looking for, sometimes you already have. And a lot of times we're looking for something and we are complaining about we need more. I thought about this sermon that Pastor Daniel Harris preached last Sunday about contentment. It was an ouch kind of sermon. We're always thinking that it's greener, the grass is greener on the other side. And when you think about people like Paul, who's in prison, and we are quick to quote the scripture, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But right before then, Paul talks about how he has learned contentment. Contentment is not something that you get automatically just because you're saved. Contentment is not something that you get automatically because you got your master's degree or you got your diploma. It's not something you get just because you just got married or you became a mom or a dad. You learn contentment through trials. You learn it through difficulties. You learn it through testing. You learn it. And Paul says, listen, I've learned how to be without. I've learned how to be with much. I've learned how to be content even when I was hungry and when I was starving. I've learned contentment. And he could speak to this because he had been through every difficult season that you can think of. Beaten, mobbed, threatened, targeted, whipped, shipwrecked. He had been through it. He had been through every difficult trial you could imagine. And yet this man of God says, I've learned how to be content. I want to ask you this thought for reflection this year, this moment. As we wrap up 2023 and prepare for 2024, have you learned the gift of contentment? Have you learned how to be content with what you have? Have you learned how to be content with Jesus and recognizing that if you are a Christian, that Jesus is enough? Jesus is enough. The Bible says that he has blessed us with every spiritual blessing and in every spiritual blessing. Everything that we need, God has blessed us with. And yet sometimes we are plagued by the thought that we need more, that we need something else. That if only our husbands would be this, if only our children would be this, if only our homes would be this. We always are looking for more. The kids that you're going to give all these gifts to, the next day they're going to wish that they had more. They're not going to be satisfied with the gifts that they just opened 24 hours or less than 24 hours ago. It's a cultural plague, a societal plague that we think we need more. And what if what we need is right in front of us? If you don't know Jesus, I want to offer that to you. And if you do and you have accepted Jesus, I just want to encourage you today that what you're looking for, you already have. I'm not saying that it's not okay to pursue something else, to go higher, to reach a goal, to achieve a dream. I'm not talking about those things. But this season, this Christmas, ask yourself the question, is the hustle really worth it? Or is God calling me to rest? Rest in his provision. This season my husband and I decided we're not going to give each other gifts. We're going to bless our son, but for the most part, I could use more candles. Yeah, I could use more smell goods. Yeah, I don't need another outfit. I don't need another pair of shoes. So we just decided, we're just going to enjoy each other, right? We're not going to exchange gifts. But I did tell him, hey, you could send me for a massage. You could give me some more chiropractic appointments, wellness. What if we just chose to rest and enjoy what we already have? There's a little emoji that I love, and it says, what if instead of buying the present, you are the present? You are present. Not an emoji, a post. Instead of buying presents, you are present. Instead of sending gifts, you send peace. Instead of donating food, instead of buying food or donating food, you cook or you do something nice for someone, right? There's so many things that we could focus to do this season. What if you chose to rest? What if you chose to focus on what you already have? Can I just ask you to think about that? What if? So I want to share this correctly with y'all. Instead of buying presents, you become the present. You be present with people. You be present. You choose to be present with people. Instead of wrapping gifts, you wrap someone in a hug. Instead of sending gifts, you send peace. Instead of shopping for food, you donate food. Instead of going to see lights, you become the light. What we're looking for, we already have it. And what we have, someone else can benefit from. Listen, just a quick thought to reflect on. Rest in this season in God's provision. Rest knowing that God has given you what you need. Rest in the peace of God. Merry Christmas. Be Wendy Jackson. I'll see you on the other side.